Our statistics, as Miriam mentioned, we get close to 4,000 phone calls on our helpline. We do a lot of phone work. Phone, and it's, you know, hopefully the women come in, but a lot of times we just talk to them on the phone. We have a 350 new client, that should be cases, not contacts, each year in both offices. 65% of these women are abortion-minded or abortion-vulnerable at the time of the first office visit. And we do a lot of referrals. This is a hard number to keep because, to really keep track of, but it's probably 1,000, at least 1,000, that's a conservative number that we refer to other agencies for support. So that's a huge thing that we do to support these women is we make it our business to know what else is out there for them. Social service programs, churches, through the government, and we really try to help them navigate the system because when you're in stress, that can be a difficult situation to get your mass health or whatever. Their demographics, as I said, we have a very, very diverse population. 40% are Latina, 20% are white, 20% African American, 20% Haitian, and 4% Asian and other. The majority are low-income inner city. We have college students, especially foreign students. We found that that's sort of a little bit of a niche market for us because their health insurance doesn't usually cover pregnancy, and so they get pregnant and they're here and they see free on our website and they call us. So we've been really, and up to this day, one of our miracles is that we have not had one of them that we could not get health insurance for. And it's been hard work, let me tell you, but we've done it. And most of our clients have a difficult life situation, homelessness, drug or alcohol addiction, domestic violence, mental and physical illness, and adverse fetal diagnosis. And people say to me, why do you need to be a nurse to do what you do? Well, that's why. Because we have women that have some very serious, significant issues, and nurses, that's what you do from day one. You're working there with people that have a lot of hardship, and you have to be able to really sort of understand that a bit to help these women. Services. So we do a lot. It would be very hard for me to put it all on this slide. We do pregnancy testing. Now we have this really, I think, very wonderful relationship with St. Elizabeth's Hospital. So we got an ultrasound machine through Grant and Nice Columbus. We own the machine, but St. Elizabeth's Hospital houses the machine. Now when we first came up with this idea, we were all a little bit like, is this gonna work or not? And what we have found is it's just been fantastic. People at St. Elizabeth's have been wonderful to us. But the beautiful thing of that is that this is a work of the Lord, right? And we do a lot of praying when we get these women in, and I will be over at St. Elizabeth's Hospital getting a woman an ultrasound, and her biggest concern is some sort of a medical reason why she feels she can't continue the pregnancy. And who do I run into the hall? Dr. Lucy Baer, the perinatologist, who takes her right up to her office, the nurse midwife who talks to her right away. So it really is turned out to be a very ideal situation rather than having the ultrasound machine right there on site. This collaboration has been very successful for us. We do a lot of referrals, as I say, material assistance, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit. And then we've just started this thing called an education layette, which is a lot of all the education that women need on nutrition, breastfeeding, labor and deliveries, changes in pregnancy, and all of that. And when I did my degree at BC way back when, I'll tell you when it was in the 70s. And then I went on to my nursing degree. We were all into health education, and we were making some great strides. And I tell you, it's gone back to the 70s. Women don't know, they're clueless, you know, as to so many things. So we have found that in serving these women and serving their needs, this is something we have to really, and we're nurses, right? So we have to sort of ramp up that part of our program. And so we also have the very successful Archdiocesan baby shower that was began in 1985, and some of you, I'm sure, are aware of this, and maybe have done some in your parish. We have over close to 100 Catholic parishes and baby showers that participate in that. So now I'm going to talk about the heart and hands, sort of what happens in the program. So you can have, you've heard a lot, about getting a woman an ultrasound or whatever to change her decision. The most significant piece is relationship that this woman has with whoever she trusts. Now, maybe that's her mother, maybe that's an aunt, but in our program, most of the time, that's me or one of the other counselors. And this is key, and it's the only time I have ever seen somebody, we get women who are like, I don't know, I'm sort of thinking I want to continue, but a woman who is very seriously abortion-minded, there's absolutely no way she is going to change without a significant relationship with somebody who she trusts. And that is key. And that is what we really try to build on. So you have these counselors, and she has to be a person who really has a lot of, I don't know. So the Sisters of Life talk about delighting in the woman, right? And so, excuse me, I've lost track of myself here. So she has to see in each woman God, really. That's what she has to do. And she has to see that person, reflection of God. She has to see the woman, the goodness. She has to look at the woman and affirm her goodness and the fact that she is as we talked about, a creation of God. And that's how she has to see her, in all of her brokenness and all of her hurt and pain. And there can't be a judgmental cell in your body when you're talking to these women. And the counselor has to also have a lot of humility, because she has to understand that it's not her, I've been around a long time, I've been doing this a long time, but it's not me. It's God is my source. And He is the source and hope that allows a woman to change, to continue her pregnancy. That comes from Him. And I have to have the humility to know that. She also has to be able to establish rapport with a diverse clientele in difficult life situations. She has to adjust her role to the woman's individual needs. So sometimes I get a woman in who needs me to be her mother. Other times I need a woman come in and I need to pull that nursing card. Have you ever thought about it? Nurses are one of the few people that people still allow them to tell them what to do, right? Like, do this, take your medicine. That's not good for you. You need to lower your fat, So people expect, it's culturally accepted. So I can pull that card and I can just start telling her what to do, and she's like, okay, I'm a nurse and I care about your well-being, and this is what I think is best for you. So, but sometimes it doesn't work, right? And I have to just be the listener. So I have to be able to know how to change. And also, this is another really key piece that was is a twofold listening. So I have to be able to listen to the woman while she's talking, and also be in touch with my own inner intuition and the Holy Spirit's guidance. Because if you're on the phone with somebody, you don't always have a lot of time, and if they're in your office, you don't always have, there's 100 things you can say, right? Hundreds. Try to get through to her, but you have to know the right thing. And in order to do that, you have to be open to the Holy Spirit's guidance. Our counselors are constantly learning, and one of the other big things that we need is faith, is a spiritual life, because the battles are enormous and Satan's always there, and if we don't have that deep connection, we're going to lose it. We're not going to be able to do the job anymore. So, I don't know how much time I have. Okay, so pregnancy help. So what happens here? Oh, I don't know why this is happening. So we had that my life or child's life, that slide, right? So women choose abortion because they can't find a place for that child. And so that is what pregnancy help is. It's a place to be heard more than anything else. Okay, you get your ultrasound, your pregnancy test, you find your mass health. So when the woman tells her story, it's the first step in the process of coming to find a place for her child. And because that's how they hear themselves, that's how they get in touch with what is going on with themselves. And they begin to connect with the truth that's inside them. And so the counselor starts to enter into this dialogue. And then together we start to explore the possibilities for her. So this is essentially what happens. So I have had a woman, as she was talking, all of a sudden say, you know, it's not really me that wants this abortion, it's my boyfriend that wants it. She had not come in my office and spent that time talking to me, she wouldn't have realized it. The stress and the fear and the anxiety is so high that it's hard for them to really get in touch with what's in their heart. And so that's what we do. We try to help the women to get in touch with what's in their heart, because you know that it's natural. It's natural for a woman. Her body is changing. She's trying to accept the pregnancy. She's already maybe feeling a little nauseous because of the pregnancy. It's natural the natural act is to want to mother, to want to continue the pregnancy. And so the decision for abortion, you have to cut that off. You have to sever that natural, God-given thing that's happening to you. And so that's what we try to do with the women. We try to connect them with what is happening, with what is going on with them. So now this is the hard part. And this is why we need so much help. So this is true for every woman. I'm sure Katie, who had her beautiful child, it's true for every woman who has every man too who has a child. It's a leap of faith. To continue the pregnancy for most involves a leap of faith, a trust that one will survive even though the obstacles are overwhelming. And so what happens is that the counselor program itself actually, I have to make that leap of faith with the woman, and a lot of times I have to make it ahead of her, and I have to be constantly telling her that everything is going to be okay. You are going to be fine. You are going to make it. And so, and some of these women have some very, very serious problems. So I have felt very out on the line, like how am I going to make everything work for her and make it, but that's where your faith comes in. And that's why we need so many people out there to help us. So the women must be welcomed into a collective support. It can't just be me sitting there. It's the whole church, it's the whole community. And the Sisters of Life said that it takes 8 co-workers to support one woman at a crisis pregnancy, and I think it's probably even more than that. So you need this collective experience, and you have to have that practical support to make the leap of faith real, so that she isn't alone, so that she doesn't end up homeless, so that she ends up able to parent this child or choose adoption, so that she can make those choices.